Just want to first give a shout out to every single person that came out today and everyone that made this day happen in terms of our administration, the people across campus that really, we're determined to make this sellout happen, and we did it. And what an unbelievable atmosphere in there. Just so grateful for everyone, again, that had a hand in it, and for our fans that came out and the community support. And this is something that we've really wanted to do since we've been here, and we were able to do it today. So unfortunately, we didn't utilize the crowd to get a win, but I just am grateful for them, and hopefully they continue to come back. So I think that, in terms of the game, obviously our start, it was just we got to quit starting and getting ourselves into a hole. Played them pretty even throughout that, but we gotta figure this out, and we got to be better and more disciplined and play with more urgency on the defensive end, and more of an aggressive mindset and attack mode on the offensive end, so we don't get down. You can't get down to these teams in this league because it's hard to climb out.
Questions for student athletes? Go ahead and raise your hand, and we'll get you a microphone.
What's it like playing in an environment like that? Obviously, field trip day was really packed, but this is kind of a more traditional fan environment. What was it like to play in front of the State Farm Center crowd today?
Yeah, it was really cool. I just wish, again, we could have utilized that energy more. But usually it's really loud in here, and it's even louder today. So it was really great just having everybody out.
Question for either of the players. Coach obviously spoke about the slow starts. In your own assessment, what do you think is kind of leading to these slow starts?
I don't think it's necessarily an answer to directly answer what you're asking, but I know it's something that we are going to fix in the locker room, and it's something that's going to change moving forward.
I guess just kind of following up on that, I mean, when you're going through that as a team, I mean, what's the conversations like? What are you trying to fix and diagnose as this is going on to kind of turn it around?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because, we're aware of, we've had these slow starts. I mean, it's been for the past couple games now, but, we don't necessarily, again, know how to fix it because we go into the game thinking, all right, let's focus on this. Let's focus on having a good start. But then it doesn't really translate into the game. So, again, we still need to figure out, how we can get that to translate into the game.
I guess for either of you, when you have a kind of slow start like you did today, what's key for you guys personally to bounce back and finish strong the way you guys did?
Honestly, just keep fighting, because in these games we have done a good job of, just keep fighting and never, giving up. But just to go back, we shouldn't, start like that.
Mm-hmm. In that first half, what did USC do specifically to kind of put you guys in that spot?
I mean, I don't think they necessarily did anything. I think, again, we did it to ourselves. We made the mistakes. Defensively, offensively, it's really just on us at the end of the day.
Destiny, I can see you continuing to improve with your scoring game in particular. Where do you feel like you're at with that part of your game, and what did you see it allow you to be so effective moving downhill and getting the ball in the hoop today?
Honestly, I just feel like I found my groove in the offense, learning how to run the team and also be able to produce in that part of the game. So honestly, that part is it.
Question for either of the players. What have you guys learned specifically, even from the Oregon game and even today's game, just about your team and your resiliency?
Yeah, I mean, one thing about our team, we're never going to give up and just all right, you can have the win. We're always going to find a way to fight back. But again, it shouldn't need to be we need to fight back. We're down 20. I think we just have the mentality at the start of the game. All right, we're down 20. If that's what we need to do, we're down 20. Let's just come back into it. And just, I don't know, just always have that mentality to fight back. But maybe at the start of the game, I don't know. I'm trying to find a fix to what we need to do.
This might be more of a Destiny question than a Ciara question, but what makes Jazzy Davidson so hard to guard?
I mean, she's tall. She's big. She's 6'2", so, I mean, she can get to her spot, rise over you. And, I mean, I've been playing her for, a couple years now because we was in the same class. So, I mean, she's able to get to her spots, like I said, and rise over you. And she got length. She's a really good player. Anything else for student athletes?
Good job, guys. Get
Thank
some rest,
you.
too.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, you clearly have student athletes who care. Like, we can see written all over their faces the disappointment. How do you coach people through disappointment, and what is the next growth step? I mean, we come back to this over and over again, but when you see people disappointed in particular, how do you coach through that?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of competition. If they're not disappointed, then they shouldn't be, on this team, because we pour our heart and soul into this, and every day we work our butts off. And when you lose and come up short, it hurts and it sucks. And if you're okay with losing, then you shouldn't be here, especially not on a team I coach, because I hate losing more than anything in the world. It's the worst thing ever. But on the other end, you have to have a big picture, broad lens of everything, that we are still learning, and we are still, trying to figure out ourselves and how our starts can be, because we've had good starts, we've had bad starts. It's not like all year we've had bad starts. Now, granted, the last 2 games, but Washington, we came out and we were great. I've changed some things that we've implemented, even, film the night before, and more film sessions and breakdown groups, kind of like a football mindset and practice. And I thought that really helped. First time we did was for Washington. So we're going to constantly try to be creative and find new ways to help these guys through it. And at the end of the day, yeah, they're figuring out. They need to figure some things out together, collectively, individually, and as a team. But at the end of the day, it's my job to get them there, and I'm going to continue to hold them accountable. But there's also times where you gotta just you can't yell and scream all the time either, right? So right now, it's just we gotta really look at this, and you gotta make a decision. Some of this is just choices too, like. It's focus, it's discipline, it's doing what we need to do in terms of scout. We didn't shoot the ball well today, but I'm not kicking and screaming about that. I just the urgency and the defensive lapses and some of the mistakes we're making, I think those are controllables, and that's where we got to continue to look at that. And at the end of the day, I have to look at that and get these guys to be able to come out and play more disciplined and focused from the start. That's on me.
Coach, in the first half, USC, they had the advantage on the boards, but I thought Naomi did a good job of just kind of coming in, putting a body on someone, doing really good with screens. Just wanted to get your assessment on her minutes.
Yeah, I thought she played really well in her 7:30, and she got 4 rebounds. So that's the one thing about Nay is she's mobile, she works, she's athletic. She just is still learning, and she's so young, right? These freshmen, she's not. C and Destiny obviously are playing a lot more, but Naomi has made a ton of improvement. Like, I wasn't putting her in early in the year. Like, I trust her now to put her in there and for her to defend and rebound. So I'm really happy with her progression and her growth, and I think she's going to be a really great player for us, hopefully for years to come.
Shauna, second quarter, I picture you sitting on the bench. It looked like you were really kind of thinking through what you were seeing out there, and just how do you sort of diagnose what you're seeing versus what you're getting in practice, and maybe that disconnect like the players were talking about?
Yeah, I mean, just trying to figure out what it's going to take to get us to execute, right? So that's during the game, you got to be possession by possession. You can't. I tell the players all the time, you can't get too high or too low, and you can't be so worried about the 5 possessions before. So I'm really in the moment of possession by possession. What do we need to do defensively? What's working? We changed some things up. Obviously, we pressed more than we ever pressed. Did some different things. What can we run to get scores? Who's feeling it? So those are the things I'm thinking about as we go through the game.
Not to be redundant, but what is your interpretation of why slow starts have become kind of a theme throughout the course of a little part of the season? Obviously, this is the first one where that's kind of happened at home, but I mean, what's your interpretation of why that has been that way?
Yeah, I don't know. If I knew that, we wouldn't be sitting. I'd be smiling a lot more at this press conference. I can tell you that much. And this is the first time it's happened at home. So before, it's like, okay, well, maybe it's just a road thing. Now it's happened at home. So, we're still learning, right? And last year's team, I could kind of tell. I knew, okay, because we've been together so long. I knew if things, when they felt right, I knew with this or that. So I got to figure it out.
With Barry playing through the broken nose, I guess throughout the game, what kind of maybe accommodations did you guys have to make the game more comfortable for her?
I mean, I don't know what we can do to, make it more comfortable. It's hard to play with the mask. This is a new mask at Oregon. She played with one of the ones they gave her. So she's still kind of trying to get that comfort level. I mean, Barry's so tough. Like she wants to play. She's going to go out there and fight, and she gets beat up. Like she got beat up at Oregon and barely got calls, and now she has to deal with the best defender, the longest. It's just she's tough, and if there was something I could do to help her feel better, I would. But there's nothing we can really do to help her.
USC had the advantage, points in the paint in the first half. The second half, you guys evened up the score there. Was that just a big point of emphasis coming out of the half?
It was a big point of emphasis going into the game. All I talked about is I knew they gave up they averaged 42 points in the paint, their opponents, in conference play. And that was something we talk about. It's every game. You guys hear me all the time. Attack mode. We track paint touches, we hunt them, and we didn't do it. And we try to keep people out of there. So that was a game theme coming in. It's every game, but this was one we really focused on because, again, they averaged 42. They held true because they gave up 44. So, but we can't give up 44 in the paint. That's something that, we also, is a battle that we, really emphasize and really, we work it every day to try to keep people out, and we work it every day to try to get in there. So glad we did the second half, but we got to do that from the start.
You referenced it earlier, but obviously you use the press a lot more than you typically would, especially in the second half. Just what did that do for you guys, especially, fueling offense, defense that way?
Yeah, we were able to create some turnovers, and it made us play really hard because you can't not play hard when you're in a press. So, I don't know. I think we may come out and start pressing. We'll see. We'll see what we got Wednesday. You may see a whole new thing. It's one way to get us to really be intense early, right? So maybe that'll be the new us. We're going to start pressing.
Your team played incredibly hard, literally to the last second, calling timeouts or getting, the scrappy plays. Just what does that kind of say about the program? And just a side question, just kind of curious, sometimes when you're able to shrink those margins, does that help college basketball metrics, just playing towards the very end and getting the game as close as possible?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we want to win every game, so you think you always have a shot, right? And it also matters with the net. The points matter. The same thing if you're winning. They wanted to win by more than probably 8, right? And if you can get it tight, I mean, all that stuff helps in the net, which we need for NCAA tournament reasons. So yeah, that helps. But this team, that's one thing about this team. They're gonna fight all get out, right? We may come out and be slow, but sure as hell we're gonna fight back. And I said it the other night, that Oregon game, that was a game, and we've been blown out before. You guys know that in the years. I mean, we've been run out of our own gym at times. This team just, knock on wood, we haven't got blown out, but we gotta be more consistent, and that's the biggest word for us right now is consistency. We have to fight like C said. We got to fight like we're down 10 when that ball's tipped, and we got to come out with that urgency and intensity and that desperation. When we play desperate, we're really good.
Destiny seemed to have it going from both ends of the court today. Can you speak to her, just her evolution and what you've seen from her this season?
Yeah, she just continues to get better and better. You see her growing now with her offensive confidence, and she's getting to the rim at ease. She's so quick and so elusive. Obviously, a great defender. I thought she was on Jazzy a lot. She did a good job on her. Besides when she rises up over, and that's a hard part about, like she said, guarding her. And then just her ability to take care of the ball. I mean, she again had 8 assists to 1 turnover, and they are pressuring, and that's 6'2", on her. So it's actually amazing what she's done in terms of ball protection. She got 8 steals, against a really good team. Like I said, this is a team, I think people forget, they were top 10 in the country to start, right? They had a couple injuries and they got, they went through a rough patch, and now they're playing really good. We probably caught them at a bad time, because if we caught them maybe a month ago, but they're playing. I mean, they went to Michigan State, beat them. This team's trending up. And I tell our kids all the time, I think it's really interesting this year in the Big Ten. A lot of the, USC, obviously very talented, great program, great team. and they went on like a 4-game losing streak, or they might have even been to 5. And then they went on, knocked off a couple teams. Maryland was on a 4-game losing streak. Maryland's a top, 20 team. And now they've got back on track in 2 big wins. And you could go down the line with a lot of these teams. They've gone through some adversity. And I think, we haven't gone on 4 or 5-game losing streaks. So we just got to continue to be present, to continue to have the big picture. And that's what's hard in the game. It's all about the moment and the big picture. And that's where I have to do my job of leading them to understand that all of our goals that we wanted of NCAA tournaments and all that, it's still out there, right? But we got to pick up some more wins and add to that resume. But it's not like we can't accomplish those things. We just got to learn and then apply. We got to learn and take what we've learned and execute. That's the missing piece right now, just the consistent execution. Because when we're watching film and breaking all this stuff down, you guys, they know everything of what the mistakes we made. It's just now trying to get that application part.
Not to be repetitive, but is Gretchen's, absence kind of felt in a game like this where you maybe struggle to shoot early, and what is her sort of status towards returning?
I think anytime you have one of your best players, it's felt, but there's nothing that annoys me more than coaches that sit up at their press conference and bitch about their kids like that. I just can't deal with it. And I've seen it lately a lot. So we're not like, it's not, Gretchen's hurt. We need Gretchen. Everyone knows that, but you're not going to hear anything from me. Stop. Sorry, that was a tangent, but it's basketball. It's life. Like, yeah, I know there's injuries happen and it sucks. So hopefully we get her back, and if not, everyone else has to continue to step up, right?
Coach, thinking about the fact that this might be the longest stretch of time you spend in the state of Illinois all season long, what unique opportunities does that give you as a staff to develop your team and work rhythms and improve when you've got that much time, where I think you got a road game at Northwestern and then one quick trip to Iowa? You're really close to home for a long time.
Yeah, and you're right. And I've told that, and I'm going to reiterate that again tomorrow. And I said in the locker room, this league's tough, but it's been a tough just sequence of games, right? Like, it's never easy, but I do like how it kind of ends with us having now we had this one, so another 2 home games, and we go, quick trip up to Northwestern. Then Iowa's a pretty quick trip, and then we're back home again. So, this is absolutely critical, this next stretch. This next week the next 3 games are probably, it's going to define kind of where we go. So, but it is a chance for us to be home, to rest up, to utilize all the resources we have in terms of recovery, and to really get to work on some things. But I also think it's also time we tapered off yesterday. We have young kids that aren't used to playing this long, and I gotta be smart with, we're gonna work hard, but I think we need to try to get these practices even down a little bit in terms of time so we can have our legs.